Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Deep Dive, where we dive deep into fascinating topics.
That's right.
And today we're going to be tackling a big one.
Yeah.
We're talking about taxes and wealth and investing,
Yeah,
financial freedom.
Big keywords.
All the keywords.
Yeah, get everyone's attention.
All the good stuff. And to help us navigate these complex and often intimidating waters.
Right?
We are cracking open a book today called Tax-Free Wealth by Tom Wheelwright.
Yes.
Now, if that name sounds familiar,
Should.
it might be because he is Robert Kiyosaki's personal tax advisor.
You know it's going to be good.
Yeah, we're dealing with someone who's in the know.
Right.
Now, the whole premise of the book, and I love this, is that the tax code is not just about paying your dues. It's actually like a roadmap full of incentives to build serious wealth.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know about you, but I always thought of the tax code as just like this thing.
This burden.
Yeah, this burden, this thing.
A necessary evil.
Yeah.
That we all have to deal with.
That you just try to minimize as much as possible.
Right.
But he's saying, no,
there's opportunity here.
It's an opportunity.
Yeah, it's a whole different perspective, and many people don't consider that.
Right. And he actually says that 9 out of 10 people could significantly reduce their tax burden if they just understood
the basics of the tax law.
That's a huge number.
It is a huge number.
Makes you wonder if you're in that 90%, right?
Absolutely.
That's what we're here to figure out. So think of this deep dive as your shortcut to the core ideas in tax-free wealth. We'll explore whether it's the right resource for your personal wealth building journey.
Exactly. And one of the things that really stood out to me is just this whole idea that taxes are essentially incentives.
Oh, interesting.
Designed to shape economic behavior.
Okay.
So governments use taxes to encourage specific activities.
Like what?
Well, he gives the example of investing in oil production, which often comes with very generous tax deductions.
Oh.
Why is that? Because governments want to stimulate that industry.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So it's like they're saying, hey, we want more of this.
We'll give you a reward.
Exactly. So we'll give you a financial reward for doing it.
So it's not just about minimizing your tax burden. It's about like using the tax code
to your advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah. And potentially even getting a financial boost from the government.
It's like a whole different way of thinking about it.
It is.
Okay. So that's where deductions come in, right?
Deductions are a big part of it.
Wheelwright says that almost any expense can be deductible.
It's true.
If framed correctly.
Within a business or investment context.
Okay, so it's all about the framing.
It is. And he gives a really compelling example.
Okay.
He talks about a client who turned a simple business trip into a $3,000 tax deduction.
Okay. Not bad.
Not bad, right? But then this seemingly small move snowballed into a $1 million real estate deal. That ended up generating $300,000 in tax revenue for the government.
So it's like everybody wins.
Everybody wins. It's this beautiful cycle.
That's a great example.
It really highlights how understanding tax deductions can not only benefit you personally, but also contribute to economic growth.
It's like this positive ripple effect.
Absolutely. It's about seeing the bigger picture.
So it's all about shifting your mindset, right? Instead of thinking, taxes, you start thinking, how can I make these work for me?
Exactly.
Now, speaking of mindset shifts, Wheelwright talks a lot about the cash flow quadrant.
Yes.
A concept from Robert Kiyosaki's work. Are you familiar with this?
Very familiar.
Okay, so for our listeners who might not be, can you give us a quick rundown?
Sure. So the cash flow quadrant distinguishes between different ways of earning income. So you have, as an employee, self-employed, business owner, or investor.
Okay, so it's like ESBI.
Exactly.
And the big takeaway is that the B and I quadrants, so those focused on business ownership and investing, offer far more tax-saving opportunities.
They do.
But does that mean everyone needs to quit their job and become an entrepreneur?
That's a great question, and the answer is not necessarily.
Okay.
What Wheelwright suggests is that even those working traditional jobs can shift some of their income-earning activities towards the B&I side.
Okay, I like that.
So that could be through side hustles, investments, or even just by reframing their current spending.
So there's potential for everyone to kind of tap into these tax advantages.
Absolutely.
Regardless of their current career path.
Regardless of where you are.
That's great to hear. Now, before we go any further, I want to remind everyone that you can grab a copy of Tax-Free Wealth using the link in the description below.
It's a great book.
It's a game changer when it comes to understanding how the tax code can work for you. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more deep dives like this.
Yes, please do.
All right, back to the book. Wheelwright also spends a significant amount of time discussing the power of depreciation, which I think can be a bit of a head-scratcher for people.
It's often misunderstood.
Yeah, because we think of depreciation like our car depreciating in value.
Right, like it's losing value.
Yeah.
But in the context of tax law, depreciation allows you to deduct a portion of the cost of certain assets over time.
Okay.
Even if those assets are appreciating in value.
So like a rental property, for example.
Exactly.
You can deduct a portion of its value each year, even though the property itself might be going up in value.
Exactly.
That's wild.
It's a huge benefit, especially in the world of real estate investing.
So the government is basically incentivizing property ownership through this depreciation deduction.
In a way, yes, it's one of the ways they encourage investment in real estate.
No wonder it's a cornerstone of real estate investing.
Absolutely.
Makes you wonder what other hidden gems are tucked away in the tax code.
Oh, there are plenty.
We're going to uncover some more, right?
Absolutely. That's what we're here for.
So Wheelwright dives into this fascinating world of multiple tax brackets.
Yes.
And how strategically utilizing them can significantly reduce your tax burden.
It's a game changer.
Wait, there's more than one tax bracket.
There are.
I thought it was just a single rate that everyone pays.
That's a common misconception.
Okay, so tell me more.
So, in reality, your income is taxed at different rates depending on which tax bracket you fall into.
Okay.
And Wheelwright gives a great example of a business owner with a large family who uses this to their advantage.
I'm intrigued. How do they do that?
So they strategically divide ownership of the business to utilize lower tax brackets for each family member, effectively reducing their overall tax liability. And here's the interesting part.
Okay.
The owner retains control of the business through trusts.
So it's not just about ownership.
It's about control.
That's a crucial distinction.
Absolutely.
Okay, so for our listeners, the takeaway here is to think creatively.
Yes.
About how family structures, business partnerships,
right,
or even different legal entities can potentially open up opportunities to utilize lower tax brackets.
It's about being strategic.
It's about seeing the tax code as a puzzle to be solved,
What's that?
not a burden to be endured.
I love that.
Now, speaking of solving puzzles, Wheelwright introduces this concept he calls super tax benefits.
Oh, yeah.
Tax credits.
Tax credits.
Now, these sound even better than deductions.
They are powerful.
Why is that?
Because they directly reduce your tax liability, not just your taxable income.
So it's like a dollar-for-dollar reduction?
Imagine that.
That's amazing. Can you give us an example of how these work in the real world?
Absolutely. He highlights the case of a construction business owner who utilizes investment tax credits to offset taxes while pursuing profitable projects.
So it's not just about minimizing taxes. It's about pursuing smart investment opportunities and then layering on these tax benefits strategically.
Exactly. It's a holistic approach.
I like it.
To wealth building.
And that brings us to another often overlooked aspect of taxes.
Yes.
Payroll taxes.
Payroll tax.
Those can be a real drag.
Yeah, especially for business owners and self-employed individuals.
Yeah. What's Wheelwright's take on reducing those?
Well, he provides a great example of a chiropractor
who
restructured his business to pay himself partially in dividends, which, unlike wages, are not subject to employment taxes.
Oh, interesting. So it's all about understanding the different types of income and their specific tax implications.
It's not just how much you earn, it's how you earn it.
Exactly. And this attention to detail extends to other often overlooked taxes as well.
Oh, yes.
Like property taxes, sales taxes, VAT taxes.
It's easy to get tripped up on those.
Yeah, especially for business owners who might not be fully aware of all the rules and regulations.
Absolutely. And he shares a cautionary tale.
Oh, no.
Of a business owner who faced a hefty $1 million sales tax bill due to a misunderstanding of the rules.
Wow.
It underscores the importance of really understanding these things and seeking expert advice.
$1 million mistake is definitely a good reason to brush up on your tax knowledge.
Absolutely.
Now, before we move on to the next set of strategies, I want to remind everyone to subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into fascinating topics like this.
Yes, please do.
We're all about helping you become more informed and empowered on your financial journey.
Absolutely.
Let us know in the comments what other books you'd like to see us summarize next.
That's right.
Okay, back to tax-free wealth. One area many people kind of shy away from is estate planning.
I get it.
It's not the most exciting topic, but it's crucial, right?
It is absolutely crucial.
Let's Wheelwright's take on this.
Well, estate planning is all about ensuring that your wealth is protected and distributed according to your wishes.
Right.
And he emphasizes the importance of having a will and establishing trusts, which can help minimize estate tax burdens.
So even in dealing with something as seemingly unavoidable as death,
Right.
there are strategic steps you can take to protect your assets
Absolutely.
and ensure they benefit the people you care about.
It's about being proactive.
I love that it's about taking control of the arrogant, being proactive, not leaving things to chance. And speaking of being proactive, Wheelwright doesn't shy away from the importance of choosing the right tax advisor.
It's a big decision.
Huge.
Yeah.
He stresses this might be the most crucial decision you make on your financial journey.
Absolutely.
It's about finding someone who's not just knowledgeable,
Right.
but also passionate about tax reduction.
And willing to educate you along the way.
Yes, so you're looking for a partner, someone who's in your corner and excited to help you win.
Exactly.
Not just someone who's going to plug numbers into software and send you a bill.
You want someone who's on your team.
And he cautions against choosing the cheapest option.
Yes.
Instead, focus on the advisor who will cost you the least in the long run.
In the long run.
Even if their fees are initially higher.
It's an investment.
It's about investing in expert advice.
That can potentially save you or even make you significant sums of money down the line.
Exactly.
And to wrap up this first part of our deep dive, we have to touch upon two concepts that he emphasizes throughout the book.
Okay, hit me.
Leverage and velocity.
Leverage and velocity. It sounds like we're talking physics.
A little bit.
Okay.
But these concepts are just as powerful in the financial world.
Break it down for me.
So he explains that while compound interest is great.
Yeah, compound interest is like the holy grail.
It is, but it's pretty slow on its own.
Okay.
He argues that leverage, which is strategically using borrowed money,
Okay.
and velocity, which is keeping your money moving,
Gotcha.
can significantly accelerate your wealth building journey.
So it's like adding rocket fuel to your financial engine.
I love that analogy.
Okay, so we're talking about getting your money to work harder and smarter for you.
That's what it's all about.
This is all incredibly fascinating, but I know we've only just scratched the surface of tax-free wealth.
Oh, there's so much more.
We've got a lot more to cover.
We do.
So stay tuned for part 2, where we'll dive even deeper into these strategies and explore how you can apply them to your own life. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and leave us a comment letting us know what other books you'd like us to cover.
We love hearing from you.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back to our deep dive into tax-free wealth.
All right, so before we took a pause,
Yes.
we were talking about leverage and velocity,
Right.
how those can help accelerate wealth building.
That's right. Getting that money to work harder and smarter for you.
Exactly. Now, speaking of which, Wheelwright has some strong opinions about traditional retirement plans,
He does.
like 401ks and IRAs.
Right. The typical.
He actually dedicates a good chunk of the book to debunking some common myths surrounding those.
He challenges the traditional set it and forget it approach
Really?
to retirement savings that a lot of financial advisors recommend.
So you mean those plans aren't the be-all and end-all of retirement planning?
Not necessarily. He raises some interesting points.
Okay, what are some of the issues that he raises?
Well, one of his main concerns is that they can lead to higher tax rates in retirement.
Oh, interesting.
So the common assumption is that you'll be in a lower tax bracket when you retire.
Right, because you're not working as much.
Right. Supposedly you're not earning as much.
Right.
But he argues that this isn't always the case.
Especially if you're planning to maintain a similar lifestyle in retirement.
Exactly. You'll likely need a similar level of income, which could keep you in the same tax bracket or even push you into a higher one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And plus, even if you are in a lower bracket,
Yeah.
you're essentially delaying the inevitable. You're going to have to pay taxes on those funds eventually.
Right.
And who knows what tax rates will be like decades from now.
Just like kicking the can down the road.
Exactly. Hoping for the best, but not really a sound financial strategy.
Not ideal.
And he also points out that these plans often restrict your investment choices,
Okay.
which can limit your potential returns.
Right, you're kind of stuck with whatever they offer.
Yeah, you're generally locked into whatever mutual funds or investment options the plan offers.
And these plans don't usually allow for leverage, do they?
No, they don't.
So you're missing out on one of those key wealth building tools that we talked about earlier.
Exactly. He highlights how using leverage wisely
Yeah.
can significantly amplify your returns.
Especially over the long term.
Right.
So it's not just about the tax implications.
Right.
It's also about having more control over your investments,
Yeah.
and potentially achieving higher returns.
Absolutely.
So what does he suggest as an alternative?
Well, he advocates for a more proactive approach,
Okay.
encouraging readers to actively invest in the 4 asset classes that he outlines in the book,
Okay.
which are business, real estate, stocks, and commodities.
So instead of passively contributing to a 401k or an IRA,
Right.
you're taking charge of your financial future and building a diversified portfolio of assets
Yes.
that can potentially generate income and grow in value.
Exactly. It's about creating multiple streams of income.
Yeah.
And leveraging the tax advantages that each asset class offers.
Okay, let's break down these asset classes, starting with business. What are some of the tax benefits that Wheelwright highlights for business owners?
Well, he emphasizes that businesses receive numerous tax breaks.
Okay.
Because they're the engine of job creation and economic growth.
It's like the government saying, hey, thanks for contributing to the economy. Here are some tax breaks as a reward.
Exactly. They want to incentivize businesses.
So starting and running a business can actually be a smart tax strategy.
It can be, absolutely.
Okay.
He walks us through all sorts of tax deductions available to business owners.
Like what?
Well, like deducting startup costs.
Okay.
Claiming employment credits for hiring employees. And strategically choosing your accounting method and year-end to minimize your tax liability.
Wow, there are so many nuances to consider.
There are.
It really highlights the importance of understanding the tax code and working with a knowledgeable advisor.
Right, someone who can help you navigate these complexities.
Now, he even shares a creative tip on how to convert ordinary business income into passive income.
Oh, yes.
For tax purposes.
For tax purpose.
Okay, passive income and tax savings. Tell me more.
All right, so essentially it involves structuring your business in a way that allows you to categorize a portion of your income as investment income, which is often taxed at lower rates.
So it's not just about working in your business,
right,
but working on your business to make it more tax efficient.
Exactly.
Okay, that's a good tip.
It's a great one.
Now, speaking of tax efficient investments.
Yes.
Wheelwright is a huge advocate for real estate.
He is.
Calling it the single best tax shelter in most countries' tax law.
Bold statement.
That's a big statement.
It is.
Really better than those traditional retirement plans we were just talking about.
Well, he believes so.
Okay.
He provides a compelling argument.
Right. Lay it on me.
Highlighting how real estate investing, particularly rental properties, offers numerous tax advantages like depreciation deductions, like kind exchanges, and various tax credits.
Okay. Remind me about depreciation again. How does that work with real estate?
Sure. So depreciation lets you deduct a portion of the property's value each year from your taxable income.
Okay.
Even though the property might actually be appreciating in value.
So you can potentially reduce your tax burden while your investment is growing.
It's a powerful combination.
Okay. And then there's like kind exchanges.
Right.
What are those?
So those allow you to defer capital gains taxes when you sell one investment property and reinvest the proceeds in another similar property.
So you can just keep rolling those investments over and potentially never pay taxes on those gains until you finally decide to cash out.
That's the idea. It's a fantastic wealth-building tool.
That's incredible.
And it highlights those unique tax advantages that real estate offers.
Okay, he even shares a story of a couple who strategically changes their primary residence every few years.
Oh, yes. Taking advantage of tax-free gains on the sale of their home.
So you can potentially build wealth and minimize taxes just by moving.
It's amazing, right?
That's wild. Okay, let's move on to the world of stocks.
All right.
Does Wheelwright advocate for everyone to become a day trader?
Not necessarily. He makes a clear distinction between passive investing in mutual funds, which is suitable for most people, and active stock trading, which is more appropriate for those who qualify as traders in the eyes of the tax law.
Traders, there's a special tax status for active stock traders.
There is.
What are the qualifications?
Well, to qualify as a trader, you need to demonstrate a substantial volume of trades. Hold positions for relatively short periods and generate a significant portion of your income from trading activities.
So it's not just about buying and selling stocks occasionally.
No, it has to be your main gig.
It's your main thing.
Yeah, you're making trading a core part of your income generating strategy.
So what if you don't meet those trader qualifications?
Right.
Are there other tax efficient ways to invest in the stock market?
Absolutely. He offers a great tip for those who enjoy stock trading but don't qualify as traders using a self-directed Roth IRA.
Oh, right. We talked about Roth IRAs earlier.
Right.
How would that work with stock trading?
So he suggests setting up a self-directed Roth IRA that owns a limited liability company, an LLC, which then has a brokerage account.
Okay.
This structure allows you to direct the investments within the IRA.
Gotcha.
And potentially benefit from tax-free growth and withdrawals in retirement.
That's a clever way to leverage those tax advantages.
It is.
Okay, last but not least, let's talk about commodities.
Commodities.
I always found those to be a bit intimidating.
Yeah.
Especially with the price volatility.
It can be volatile.
What's Wheelwright's take on those?
He acknowledges the volatility, but he argues that commodities, particularly oil and gas, can offer unique tax benefits. He even calls oil and gas one of the truly great tax shelters.
Wow, even better than real estate.
Well, it depends on your individual situation and goals. But he makes a strong case for the tax advantages of investing in oil and gas drilling operations.
All right, I'm all ears. Tell me more about these tax benefits.
Okay, so he highlights two key deductions.
Okay.
Intangible drilling costs, or IDCs, and depletion.
Depletion,
So IDCs allow you to deduct a significant portion of the upfront costs of drilling a well, and then depletion is similar to depreciation. And it lets you deduct a percentage of the well's gross income each year, even after you've fully deducted your IDCs.
So it's like a double dose of tax deductions.
It's pretty sweet.
It seems like the government's really incentivizing investment in this industry.
They are. It's a great example of how understanding the nuances of the tax code can unlock some really unique and potentially lucrative investment opportunities.
Whether it's business, real estate, stocks, or commodities.
Exactly.
There's a tax advantage to be had if you know where to look.
It's all about being informed.
It's about shifting your mindset from viewing taxes as a burden to seeing them as a potential opportunity.
Exactly.
But I have to admit, there's one thing that still makes me nervous about all this.
What's that?
The dreaded tax audit.
Ah, yes, the tax audit.
The source of anxiety for so many people.
It is, but Wheelwright doesn't shy away from this topic.
Good.
In fact, he dedicates an entire chapter to eliminating your fear of tax audits.
Eliminating my fear, is that even possible?
He believes it is. And his approach is pretty simple: be prepared. He outlines a very clear strategy for preparing for a potential audit. Handling an audit if it occurs, and minimizing your risk of being audited in the first place.
That sounds a lot better than sticking my head in the sand and hoping for the best.
Much better.
So what are some key tips for being prepared?
Well, he emphasizes the importance of meticulous record keeping.
So no more shoeboxes full of receipts.
No more shoeboxes. He recommends using reliable accounting software to track all your income and expenses.
Makes sense.
And maintaining organized and accurate records.
What else can you do to be prepared?
Well, he stresses the importance of working with a qualified tax advisor. Not just during an audit, but year-round.
Year-round.
A skilled advisor can help minimize your tax liability and act as your advocate if an audit does occur.
It's like having a lawyer on retainer, but for your taxes.
Exactly.
He even suggests considering an audit defense plan.
Yes.
Which provides insurance coverage for the costs of defending yourself against the IRS.
It's like peace of mind insurance for your taxes.
That's a great idea.
Right. And he also stresses that understanding the tax law and applying it correctly can significantly reduce your audit risk. He says many audits are triggered by simple mistakes or misunderstandings. So educating yourself and working with a knowledgeable advisor can be invaluable.
It's about being proactive, not reactive.
Exactly. Don't wait for that audit notice to start scrambling.
Now, he also offers some key insights into handling an audit if one does occur.
Yes.
What are those?
Well, first and foremost, remain calm. Let your tax advisor take the lead.
So cooler heads prevail.
Exactly. He explains that emotions can run high during an audit.
Stressful situation.
Right. And that can lead to mistakes.
What else can you do to handle an audit effectively?
Well, he emphasizes the importance of controlling the flow of information. Provide only the information that's specifically requested and avoid oversharing.
Interesting. So it's not about hiding information.
No.
But about being strategic and concise.
Exactly. You want to work with your advisor to present your case effectively. And minimize potential red flags.
So now shifting gears a bit.
Great.
A key element in navigating this whole tax landscape successfully is choosing the right tax advisor.
Absolutely.
And Wheelwright dedicates a whole chapter to this, emphasizing that it might be the most important decision you make.
For your financial well-being.
So Finding a good tax advisor is like finding a needle in a haystack.
It can feel that way.
What should listeners look for?
We outline several key qualities.
Okay.
First and foremost, they need to be deeply knowledgeable about the tax law.
Okay.
Not just relying on simplified guides or software.
So we're not talking about your average number crunching accountant.
Definitely not.
Okay.
He advocates for finding someone who embraces creativity
Oh.
in applying the law to your specific situation.
Okay.
They should be looking at the entire tax code, not just isolated rules.
So someone who's thinking strategically and long term.
Exactly, not just looking for quick fixes.
What else?
Well, he highlights the importance of finding an advisor who genuinely cares about your unique circumstances.
Okay.
Asks questions.
Yeah.
Understands your goals.
Okay.
And tailors their advice accordingly.
So it's about building a relationship
Absolutely.
based on trust and mutual respect.
Trust is key.
And I love that he emphasizes the importance of finding an advisor who's willing to teach you the tax rules.
Empowerment, not just hand-holding.
Yeah, it's about knowledge transfer, not just paying for a service.
Right.
So he cautions against advisors who hoard knowledge.
Yeah, or make you feel dependent on them.
The more you understand the tax code, the better equipped you are to build wealth.
Absolutely, knowledge is power.
It's like that saying, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime.
Exactly.
He even suggests finding an advisor who will prepare your tax returns personally.
Yes.
This ensures that their advice is being implemented correctly.
Right.
And you're maximizing your tax savings.
It's about alignment.
Aligning incentives.
Making sure everyone's on the same page.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
From understanding the tax code as a roadmap
Right.
to incentives,
To mastering deductions.
leveraging those multiple tax brackets,
Conquering the fear of audits.
and choosing the right advisor.
It's a lot.
It is, but saving money on taxes is just the first step.
It is.
What's the point if you don't use that extra cash flow wisely?
Right. What are you going to do with all that money?
That's where Wheelwright's insights on compound interest leverage and velocity come into play.
Exactly.
He explains how these three concepts can work together
They're a powerful trio.
to turbocharge your wealth building efforts.
They can.
Right. We touched on these earlier, but can you give us a quick recap?
Sure. So compound interest is the foundation.
Right.
It's that magic of earning interest on your interest.
Right. The snowball effect.
Creating a snowball effect over time.
But as we discussed, compound interest alone can be a slow process.
Especially in early years.
That's where leverage comes in to boost things.
Exactly. Leverage is strategically using borrowed money to amplify your returns.
Like using a lever to lift something heavier than you could on your own.
Perfect analogy.
So instead of just investing your savings,
Right.
you're borrowing money to invest even more.
And potentially reap bigger rewards.
But it's important to use leverage wisely.
Wise.
And within your risk tolerance.
Absolutely.
And then there's velocity.
Right.
Which is about keeping your money moving.
I'm working hard for you.
It's about consistently reinvesting your earnings.
Right.
And seeking out opportunities to accelerate your wealth building journey.
Exactly. And remember, velocity isn't about chasing quick profits.
No.
Or jumping on every investment trend.
Right.
It's about having a clear strategy, being patient.
Okay.
And making informed decisions.
So it's like having a roadmap and a powerful engine for your financial journey.
Exactly.
Now, with all this talk about wealth building and tax strategies, it's important to remember that money isn't everything.
It's not.
It's easy to get caught up in the numbers.
Right.
And forget about the bigger picture.
Yeah, what's the ultimate goal of all this?
What's Wheelwright's perspective on that bigger picture?
Well, he emphasizes that building wealth isn't just about accumulating money.
Okay.
It's about creating freedom and security, pursuing your passions and living a fulfilling life.
Right. Money is a tool.
It's a tool.
Not an end in itself.
Exactly.
It's about having the resources to live the life you want.
Right.
And make a positive impact on the world.
Absolutely.
So what's Wheelwright's final message for our listeners?
Well, he encourages everyone to take action.
Yeah.
Don't just dream about financial freedom. Go out and create it.
I love it.
Find a great tax advisor. Start implementing the strategies he outlines.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to make mistakes along the way.
Right. You learn from your mistakes.
You do. He emphasizes that knowledge without action is meaningless.
So true.
He wants you to seize control of your financial future.
Not just think about it.
Don't just dream about it. Do it.
Well, he wants you to stop letting taxes control your life.
Right.
And start using them to build the life you want.
That's the goal.
And if you're ready to take that step,
Delete.
don't forget to grab a copy of Tax-Free Wealth.
Great book.
Using the link in the description below, it's packed with practical advice.
It is.
And inspiring examples that can help you on your journey.
It's a great resource.
And for those of you who are already on this path,
yeah,
remember to stay curious.
Yes.
Stay informed.
Absolutely.
And never stop learning.
Always be learning.
The world of finance is constantly evolving, and the more you know, the better equipped you'll be to navigate it successfully.
Couldn't agree more.
It's a lifelong process.
It is.
Of learning, adapting, and making smart choices.
That align with your goals and your values.
And if this deep dive has piqued your interest,
I hope so.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel for more fascinating explorations.
Yes.
They do a wide range of topics.
We've got lots more coming.
We do. And also let us know in the comments which book you'd like us to summarize next.
Yes, we love hearing from you.
We love getting your input on what topics you find most valuable. Welcome back to The Deep Dive. So we're wrapping up our exploration of Tax-Free Wealth by Tom Wheelwright, where we've been uncovering these strategies to leverage the tax code for building wealth.
It's been a great conversation.
And before we went on a little tangent, we were talking about the importance of finding that top-notch tax advisor.
Right. Finding that right person.
It's a crucial step.
It is.
And he argues that, a skilled advisor can be the difference between just minimizing your taxes and truly optimizing your financial strategy for long-term wealth.
Yeah, they can make a huge impact.
And he also stressed finding an advisor who's, passionate about tax reduction.
Yeah.
And willing to teach you the ropes. Why is that educational aspect so important?
Well, because it empowers you.
Yeah.
The more you understand the tax implications of your choices, the better equipped you are to structure your finances in a tax-efficient way.
It's about taking ownership of your financial future.
Exactly.
Not blindly following someone else's advice.
Right.
It's about becoming financially literate.
Yes.
Which is something we advocate for strongly here on The Deep Dive.
Yeah.
And he cautions against advisors who try to keep you in the dark or make you feel reliant on them.
Right. You don't want that.
He wants you to be an active participant in your financial journey.
Take control.
And he even suggests finding an advisor who will personally prepare your tax returns.
Yes.
Ensure that their advice is aligning with, how your taxes are actually filed.
It eliminates that disconnect.
Exactly.
Between the strategy and the execution.
Maximize those potential savings.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
From, understanding taxes as incentives to mastering those deductions.
Right.
Leveraging multiple tax brackets.
Even conquering that fear of audits.
Oh, yeah.
Which is huge.
But what's the point of saving all this money?
Right.
If we don't put it to good use?
Exactly. What are we going to do with all that extra cash flow?
That's where Wheelwright's emphasis on compound interest leverage and velocity come in.
Yes. Tie it all together.
He shows how these three principles can work together to accelerate your wealth building journey.
They really are the key.
I love how he ties everything together.
Yeah.
From tax savings to smart investing.
It's a holistic approach.
Can you give us a final recap of how these three principles work their magic?
Of course. So compound interest is the foundation.
Okay.
It's the concept of earning interest on your interest.
Yeah, that snowball effect.
Allowing your money to grow exponentially over time.
But as we discussed, compound interest can be a slow burn.
Yeah.
Especially in those early years.
It takes time.
That's where leverage comes in to boost things.
Exactly. Leverage is strategically using borrowed money to amplify your potential returns.
Like having a financial lever that lets you move much larger sums than you could with your own funds alone.
Exactly.
But of course, it's crucial to use leverage responsibly.
Yes.
And within your risk tolerance.
Absolutely.
And then there's velocity.
Right. Keep that money moving.
Which is all about keeping your money moving.
Consistently reinvesting your earnings.
Seeking out those opportunities to accelerate your progress.
And it's not about frantic trading or chasing quick wins.
Yeah.
It's about having a clear investment strategy.
Okay.
Being patient and letting the power of compound interest and leverage work their magic over time.
It's about having that well-tuned engine.
Right.
And a clear roadmap for your financial journey.
That's the key.
But while we've been focusing on the mechanics of wealth building, I think it's important to remember that money isn't everything.
It's not the be-all, end-all.
Right. Wheelwright emphasizes that financial success is about more than just accumulating wealth.
Absolutely.
It's about creating freedom and security and having the opportunity to live a fulfilling life on your own terms.
That's what it's all about.
Using your financial resources to pursue your passions, support causes you care about, and make a positive impact on the world.
Right. It's about aligning your money with your values.
What's Wheelwright's final message for our listeners?
He urges everyone to take action.
Okay.
Don't just dream about financial freedom.
Yeah.
Go out and create it.
I love it.
Find a great tax advisor, educate yourself about the opportunities available, and start implementing those strategies that he outlines.
Yeah, he emphasizes that knowledge without action is meaningless.
It's true.
He wants you to seize control of your financial future, not think about it.
Become the architect of your own destiny.
That's a great call to action.
It is.
He wants you to become the architect of your financial destiny, not a passive bystander.
Take charge.
And if you're ready to start building that future, don't forget to grab a copy of Tax-Free Wealth using the link in the description below.
It's a great resource.
It's a treasure trove of practical advice and inspiring stories that can help you along the way.
Definitely check it out.
And for those of you already on this journey,
Yes.
remember to stay curious,
Absolutely.
stay informed,
Keep learning.
and never stop learning.
The world of finance is constantly changing, so you gotta stay on top of it.
The financial landscape is constantly evolving, and the more knowledge you have, the more equipped you'll be to navigate it successfully.
Couldn't agree more.
It's a lifelong journey of learning, adapting, and making those smart choices that align with your goals and values.
It's a journey, not a destination.
And if you've enjoyed this deep dive into tax-free wealth, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more insightful explorations into a whole bunch of fascinating topics.
Well, a lot more to come.
We do. And don't forget to let us know in the comments which book you'd like us to summarize next. We love hearing from you and getting your input on what topics you find most valuable.
Absolutely. We love your feedback.
Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive Podcast.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you've gained some valuable insights and are feeling empowered to take control of your financial future.
We hope so.
Until next time.
Until next time.
Keep learning, keep growing,
Yes.
and keep diving deep.
We'll see you soon.